This episode of TV Nerds is brought to you by Cool Comics and Games. You'll get all your games and comics there. I promise you, you will not regret it. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, I swear to God, I would demolish you. Not really, but please get your games and comics there. It'll be great. If you don't go there, I swear to God, I will find you.
I keep coming back to you. I keep coming back to you.
So guys,
Ooh.
welcome to TV Nerds.
Yep.
Science
We're
fiction special.
Is it science fiction?
Yeah, let's run it.
We're just
I don't
gonna
want
run
to. I
it.
don't want to do the topics without Eugene. He
Right.
keeps us
So
on
we're-
track.
So we're doing science
He
fiction.
keeps us organized.
Yeah, so we'll just go off topic for
Yeah.
today and just get completely fucking
And we've been
crazy with it.
drinking.
It's not
We've
even
been
on topic.
drinking,
We've been
so it's gonna
drinking.
be a good episode. We've been drinking. We're gonna talk about science fiction.
Science fiction has to do with nerdy shit. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
nerds are like me. I'm a big science nerd. So
You want to talk about this coronavirus science
yes,
fiction?
let's
Right,
start with the
right.
coronavirus. Yes.
We could definitely start with the coronavirus, and I definitely fucking believe the government's behind it. I don't give a fuck what you have to say.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
All right. I guess we're starting up right now then.
All right, let's go.
I believe it's an orchestrated plan to get Mexico the new superpower of selling goods.
I feel like it's just a reason to get the government
What
to
a
activate
stretch.
martial law.
Is it a stretch though? Because Donald Trump just sealed a deal for the North America Trade Act between North America, Canada, and Mexico.
Oh well, fuck.
And
Well,
once
that's
China
true.
goes out of business, the only person who can cover and like can start selling shit out and has like not that bad of a corrupt government and decent taxes and low dollar value, Mexico.
Well, depopulation is definitely a factor.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
if,
it.
I just feel like
and if
okay.
you think about it, then if he's building the wall, he's not building the wall to keep someone out,
They're
but
keeping
to
them in.
keep the U.S. separate from
They're
the
keeping them in.
fancier Mexico now.
Bro.
There's a lot of theories, but one
I
of
could
the
be
theories
wrong.
is
Though.
like
I've been drinking.
Yeah, we could be wrong. It doesn't matter. They're all theories. They're all theories.
One of the theories is that the fact that China is our number one manufacturer in the world
Yeah.
of anything,
Yeah.
so that they're trying to bring China down, and that they, it all started from China. How funny, right?
But I mean, like, I think it's like the Chinese did it because they can't sustain that. Like, bitch, 2.8 million people protest at one time is a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's
he's
true.
gonna be like, at one moment, gonna be like, hey.
But
this
that ain't
is-
shit in their
I mean,
according
but-
to their population.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it until the whole world started getting involved. Like,
Yeah.
it was in China for the past 2 months. Like, starting in December, they started having
Yeah.
issues with it. But as time went by, it started to become more of a U.S. problem. So
Yeah.
as the
Yeah.
way I see it, it started becoming more of a global issue overall. And that shit, the one thing that scares me about that is the fact that
Sorry.
now they have every fucking reason
that shit off.
to they have every reason to activate martial law. What the fuck are you gonna do if you can't go outside and do anything? If the government literally tells you go outside, you're gonna get either imprisoned or I'm just gonna fucking shoot the shit out of you because I think you're infected.
Well, the benefit is then anyone who backed the NRA was right.
That might be one benefit, but who's to say those people are even safe?
No,
Okay.
because
Real-
when martial
real
law kicks
quick.
in, your right to bear arms becomes an actual like,
That's true.
act of civil. Like,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
How many
law.
Can I
people
just give
actually
you
have
guys
guns
a-
right now when all of their money went to toilet paper?
No. But
The same people that bought the toilet paper had bought bullets.
yeah, oh yeah.
I
Oh,
hope
yeah.
so. I fucking hope so. You better
Can I
have some
just-
fucking
can I
weapons.
just
to-
give- this is true factual
I
shit.
see.
Can I just give you guys a real
Yeah.
quick? I'm gonna be fast with it. With the NRA, so the NRA has been not only with the U.S. but they've been trying to spew their propaganda with different countries, especially with Australia. That's a they don't carry guns. It's a very same with the UK. So the NRA has been trying to spew their propaganda with different countries, trying to get their shit going. Because don't get me wrong, I'm all for bearing arms, but to a certain degree, right? There has to be a compromise. So the NRA is like all for everybody freeload, like everybody got. They're trying to spread their propaganda to other countries, and they've been trying to do that with Australia very heavily, by the way.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna.
yeah.
So not just with Australia, with everybody, really.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, think about how crazy it is that as of right now, as a global effect, martial law is kicking in, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So that proves globally, not even like, even if NRA would say to like orchestrated this, which I doubt it, but like they can bank off it just because even they can prove that like, yeah, Australia,
Yeah.
you banning guns was a dumbass idea because now look, you need it, and then prove also that like, you see the bullshit that y'all been arguing about in the U.S. about right to bear arms, we were right. Like, it'll just go across the board. And then those are the people who would just be like monopolizing on it.
I mean, I see it
That's
as an
that's
issue.
wild.
but it's not crazy. The thing is, like, countries without guns, countries that don't have the same gun laws as we do, are actually not doing that bad at all. They're doing pretty good.
It's because they
So
got
it's
better.
not-
They got
Yeah.
better regulations.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I feel
true.
Like they're trained better.
Exactly, exactly.
They do. They
And
put
to
more
be-
work and
And that's my
effort
point.
into
There
it.
has to be a compromise.
Yeah.
You can't be everybody carrying guns around like it's
Yeah.
fucking, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
at the same time, you can't have laws that are truly nobody can carry a gun, this and this and that, because then you have that limitation, so that whenever there's a crisis, whenever there's martial law, you know nobody can save
What's going to
themselves.
happen to Australia?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
the question that would
Yeah.
be.
So you have to have that medium.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it as a like it's honestly, to me at least, it's a whole energy thing. I mean, you have this whole law of attraction. So to me at least, if we're talking about science fiction, we'll get into it a little bit. And to me at least, it feels like the 1% has always had one target in mind. So you have that whole 1% collective thinking about one thing and putting their energy and focus on one thing, as opposed to us, which is the majority,
Yeah.
known as the minority,
Yeah.
thinking about different things and putting their focus on different things and pushing their energy towards different objectives that don't coexist with the whole collective of what we actually need to do.
No, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I agree
it's
with
like
you.
that. That's exactly
like-
why their plans always work out and ours don't.
Because I feel like they also like if you're able to control such a thing, you're also able to control our outcome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
You
like
can
it's like a
definitely
rigged
control your
system.
own outcome.
So it's like no, but I'm saying the 1% controls our minority outcome.
Of course.
So
because
even-
they know how to manifest
Right.
the collective
and
as a
like
whole.
manipulate the system
Exactly.
to get what they want while also hurting us.
And because we as a collective are so ignorant,
yeah,
as a people, we are really fucking ignorant. We don't know a lot of shit. And you know what? It's not our fault that we don't know a lot of shit, because we aren't given that information to begin with.
right. But I mean, if you follow like some of the news, I'll take it to the Disney stream, like Disney Plus. For me, business wise, Disney Plus coming out just so recent to where coronavirus came around the same time seems a little suspect, just because of how big a conglomerate Disney is.
That's
To
true.
wait so long to release content onto a streaming system, but they didn't like hold back. They had it on Hulu,
Right.
You had it on Netflix. They still got contract deals to make money,
Right.
But I mean, they could have been the first streaming service around Netflix,
And I mean, we could say that about a lot of corporations now.
Right.
Because I mean,
but like they didn't make the moves until after they took over ESPN,
true.
Star Wars,
True.
Marvel, and part of Sony and Fox.
You know what? Like,
Yeah.
And now you have your streaming service where now games are still being played,
Yeah.
but they're only streamed
Here-
and aired.
here's
on
here-
ESPN.
here's the thing. Once again, there's a lot of theories of what's going on. Obviously, the virus is a real thing.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing we can't deny. So, one of the theories, for example, is that this is a test to see how we can panic. Now, the virus is a real thing, by the way. We do have to watch out for it. It's like it's a different strain of the flu. It's a little bit different than the flu, okay? But basically, if you take care of yourself, you can probably survive. Now, the thing is, they're testing us. There's one theory where it's like this is a test to see how we react to a pandemic. So remember that, I know it sounds crazy, but the government knows that there are aliens that exist. This is maybe their way of like testing us to see how we react to a pandemic.
Yeah.
So there's one theory. The second theory is that, this is just...
Wait. We can't just continue on that one. So you're saying where does the alien involvement comes into play?
The point is that this is a pandemic.
Right.
Okay?
No, I get the
So-
whole
It's like a
statement,
test to
but I'm
try to
saying,
get
like,
us ready
the
for that kind of
the
news.
alien
Yeah.
involvement is a test for us to be ready for the aliens.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Okay.
heard of the
No, I
Anunnaki?
feel that. No.
Because
It's
the
like-
Anunnaki are
it's like-
definitely real.
You
No,
guys,
'cause, like,
you guys remember in the 20th?
Whatever
Okay,
anybody
the
says.
20th century. I think it was, I can't remember the name, but it was this broadcast that happened where basically it was a radio broadcast, and they were reading over a story that somebody, I think it was Harrison, I can't remember the name right now, but basically it was a story about aliens and an alien invasion. So they were sitting there talking about, reading over a story when many people didn't know that. They thought it was a real live radio broadcast about an alien invasion, and they freaked out, and they
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking
Harrison,
about. Yeah, they did it on it was on a radio station
Yes.
late in the 50s
Yes,
where
and
radio
in the
was
50s.
popping.
and
We
they
didn't
were
have
like,
TV
"Holy
yet. They
shit,
didn't have
we're being
TVs.
invaded by the aliens."
Yeah.
'Cause
So
there's-
I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of chaos going on. Like
Yeah,
I
'cause
just
There's
I
a
mean-
guy that got killed off the air on a radio station because he was exposing shit, and he was an ex-employee of the fucking Area 51.
Right. I mean,
And
don't get me-
that you can find that
but don't get me
footage
wrong
on
though,
YouTube.
that's a thing though where I believe that because like if you logically thinking you're leaking secrets, so you
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
as a civilization, you can't just tell a group of people some truth that niggas can't handle.
No,
Right.
and I completely understand it.
But then doing a test to prepare us for such an event would
Right.
just as much be as crazy as the event. Like I feel like the aliens may be involved in an event like this.
Look.
No, don't get me wrong. Maybe because like if you think about it, it's a targeted it could be some targeted reason.
I think this is just
like
money
an alien
less-
syndicate.
I will
service,
tell you
sleeper
this much.
cells.
I don't think that the fact that they're testing us is too far-fetched, just based off the simple fact that I'll tell you a story. So when I was in my junior year of high school, I had my law studies teacher have this whole segment, and he was my first period for that day. Law studies, great period to fucking have. First fucking period of the fucking day, great. As soon as I woke up, I just had to hear about law and shit. All right, anyway. So, yeah, it did suck. Anyway, so this guy was awesome, though. So he was an ex-lawyer, and he had all this other shit going on. He used to teach at a college. Very smart. And I actually remember his name, Dr. Maxwell. You have to call him doctor because he got that doctorate. So you have to call him doctor. You can't call him mister, Disrespectful.
It is.
Anyway.
Gotta
It is.
say the whole
Nah,
name.
yeah, bro.
Exactly.
Niggas be hitting
So-
that when
Dr.
you-
Maxwell.
Yeah, so
That
doctor.
shit sounds like a fucking superhero.
Pimp name Slipback.
You talk to a person that's from
Named Dr.
England, it's a
Right?
sir. I got knighted.
Exactly.
Sir. All right.
Exactly.
All right,
So,
Playboy.
Dr. Maxwell,
shit
one
sounds
morning we
fancy.
come into class, and he has us come into class. It's business as usual, and then out of nowhere he springs up so starting tomorrow, there's gonna be a sticker on your mailbox. Whether it's blue or whether it's red, that determines whether you're going to be in a camp or not. I'm gonna tell you this shit right now. That shit. Being in my junior year in high school, I was already into conspiracy theories. So for him to come out and do some shit like that, I had a million thoughts going through my head.
Yep.
And everybody thought it was real because he was like, "Did you watch the news this morning?" So apparently everybody tomorrow is going to have a sticker on their mailbox. It's going to be either red or blue. If you're red, that means you will be sent to a concentration camp.
This is an exercise that he did on y'all?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And he was like, you will be in a concentration camp. You won't be able to do anything pretty much. Doesn't matter what you say, you will be under martial law. They will capture you and make you go on this van and take you to a camp of wherever the fuck they have it.
This is
Right.
kind of like a psychology experiment
Yeah.
that they did
And-
on a
and-
group of people.
And then about 5 minutes into the conversation, he exposes that everything he said was false.
Jesus.
But his point for that was that we, as the new generation, don't pay attention to the news as we claim we do, and have no real idea of what the fuck is going on in the world.
No.
Yeah, but how many
That's
of
true.
the kids questioned his
Nobody.
statement. That's the worry.
Nobody.
That's the
See,
word.
And that was his
You know what
word.
I'm saying?
That
That's
was
what I'm
his
saying.
word.
That's like
Yeah.
I get why he did the exercise because
Yeah.
like even if you didn't follow the news, you should still be somewhat questioning of
Yeah.
what I'm saying,
Exactly.
even if I'm not of an authority
Here's-
figure.
They
Yep.
had a whole psychology experiment where there was basically like, for example, it was based in a doctor's office, and they had a weird random sound that was like a little beep, and everybody, when they had one person that knew what was going on. Every time the beep went on, they just stood up like this, and they sat right back down, right? So then at first everybody just looked at them like, okay, they're weird, but after a while we had 2 people doing it, then 3 people doing it, then eventually everybody in the crowd did it because everybody responds to what is going on. Nobody actually sits there and goes, let me question this. It's about the saying, you're sheep, you guys are just sheep. It's true because sheep just follow the herd.
Yeah.
And that's what
Monkey
it is.
see, monkey do.
Right, but I mean that's what we're taught, so we can be docile. Like
Exactly.
the people who in the past,
If 3 people are, if I see somebody taking like 5 fucking bags of toilet paper, 5 different rolls of toilet paper, I'm like, wait, what's going
Yeah,
on? Should
what the
I
fuck
do
is
that?
going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the crowd will be like, I'm gonna do it too, because
Yeah.
they're doing it. I actually had a friend who like they posted a status. They're in retail and they're like, somebody came up to them and said, I don't know what's going on with all the toilet paper. Like, why is everybody banging on the toilet paper? While their cart, they had like 3 fucking, packs of toilet paper stacked up against each other. And I'm like, you're asking why, but yet you buy all
Yeah.
this toilet paper.
Right.
So it's a sheep thing. It's a fall.
I saw
Yeah.
a grandma slap somebody over some
Oh, yeah.
some
Save
TP.
that.
Video,
I mean, that was on
People
that
getting
was
crazy.
on Black Friday.
She was like, "Bitch, you got too much in your buggy."
People
She
crazy.
was like, don't you
I'm
take.
telling you.
Even the lady had to say, you crazy, lady. You gonna
Shit is about to get even worse. I'm telling you, we're about to see looting.
No, if you think
And I'm
about
gonna tell
it,
you
though,
right now, if we looting places, they ain't open, I'm all fucking in.
dude.
You think I ain't gonna loot the fucking mall? My nigga. You know
Why?
how big
Why?
my swag about to advance right now?
Why though? You can't
Swag on
you can't
10,000,
look
nigga. Forget
fresh.
1,000.
You
We
can't
on
look-
10,000.
You can't look fresh in Mad Max, nigga.
I can look fresh in anything. I can look fresh in anything. A real man
You
makes the
gotta be wearing
clothes.
black denim and a
Right.
black t-shirt every
listen,
time.
hey,
You
listen,
gonna be
I-
around dirt and blood.
I can wear anything and I make it look good. You know
Nah,
why? Because a
son.
real man makes the clothes. The clothes don't make the
You
man.
wild,
You feel me?
dog. You wild.
You feel me?
I seen this
Not
movie.
during Mad Max time.
I seen this movie called The
I
Descent.
don't know, man. My
And
confidence
that happened
on
in
this.
Tennessee,
I'm a
Chattanooga,
Leo.
Tennessee. I don't trust. You have to have the proper equipment, bro. Just wear some black t-shirts, some jeans.
Look, man.
If
I
there's
always
zombies-
wear black.
Here's my thing.
That's not that's the problem.
If you got zombies,
I'm not dead. I just
though,
dress that way.
You just go to a scuba shop and get some chainmail. If you get some zombies. Hey,
That's true.
prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. If
Yeah.
if a shark can't bite through, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna be able to
that's
afraid
true.
some
That's
dumbass
That's true.
zombie
That's
run up
smart.
with his dumbass mouth.
Gabe, I'm with you on that
All
one.
right,
man,
I'll
I'm
give you
gonna
that.
walk
I'll
around
give you
here
that.
Zombie
skipping down the street.
apocalypse. All the fucking people that go to those medieval fairs that everybody
What?
made fun of. What's up,
Link
bitch?
up with us.
I ain't
Link up
laughing
with
now, motherfucker.
Hey, look, I've played a lot of RPGs. I'm gonna tell you right now, I will survive a
I
zombie
what?
apocalypse. I will
Try me.
survive a zombie
I
apocalypse.
play Left 4
You feel me?
Dead for life, for keeps. I ain't playing this game. I told my mom,
That's
yo,
just-
if you sick and coughing and you look like you turn into a zombie,
I might fucking kill you.
I will give you a go bag. That's it.
Dead ass.
That's it. That's all right.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you turn into a zombie, I don't give a fuck
I
who
can't.
you are.
Yeah,
I'm about to blow your fucking brains out right.
I can't take no chances, yo. No chances.
That's weird. That's what
And
my
I,
man
wa-
said.
and I might give
Yo,
a
he's
prayer
He's
for
like,
you.
don't go to no events, because if you come back from an event and you're
gotta
like,
leave out there. I
he's
leave
like,
out
I'm gonna
there.
fucking kick your ass
Yeah.
out. I'm like, damn.
I posted a meme the other day. It was
That's
like
how
a
it
little
is. They
baby crying
serious.
because his girlfriend came home coughing. He was just like, he had a gun in his hand. I felt that pain. Sometimes you gotta put down your best pet.
Look, my girlfriend right there, she knows if I become infected, kill me right now.
Yeah.
And if she get infected, I'm about to blow her fucking brains the
This
fuck
is
my
out.
equal,
God.
it's an equal
Guys,
relationship, though. I
it's-
want this to be an equal relationship. You do it to
Guys.
me.
Yo, you gonna
This
see
is
that on the news.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yes.
gonna blow somebody's head out.
What?
And
Babe,
just
you
be
better
like,
fucking kill
she
me
was
right
turning.
Let's
They
get
put some
serious.
special effects on their face.
But if I'm about to turn into some shit, you better fucking kill me. I
Yeah,
swear to
son.
God.
Let's get serious. This is a pulmonary
Anybody
disease.
that's trying to get rid of their
No,
wife.
I'm
Pulmonary
serious.
disease. It's
But
a
I'm
pulmonary disease.
But no, still, even though it's a pulmonary
I'm not saying that it's not serious. You should watch out because there are some
Oh,
people
yeah.
that have weaknesses to their lungs. If you are not, if your immune system is not up to date, if you're weaker, if you're a smoker, if you're somebody that just has a
Everybody,
weaker,
fam, we all smoke weed.
that
what
ain't
I'm
the same
saying.
though. I
That's what I'm
smoke
saying.
nicotine. But
Stop Peter Park and the Mary
You know what
Jane.
I'm
God damn
saying?
it.
They're taking out stoners, smokers, and old people. They're assholes. And asthmatics.
Right.
And fat
Yes.
people. Anyone who can't breathe right.
It sucks being
I'm getting
asthmatic
hit.
and smoking
You know what I'm
weed.
saying? I'm
It
fat
sucks, man.
with allergies.
how do you guys do it? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I just have a strong urge
We
to
like
get
to
Got a
fucked up
strong liver
24/7,
and
so I just do it.
down.
I like to live on the edge. And just be
That's what I'm
on that.
saying. Yeah.
I don't ride roller coasters. I don't drive fast.
Me either.
But
I just do mad drugs.
I like
You
to
don't drive
eat.
fast?
I don't eat. No. No.
That's
wait,
what
I
I'm
drive-
saying.
okay, wait.
This is a perspective
I always tell
question.
Gabe, I'm like, do you need a
Yeah.
ride? Cause
So I
and
drive-
Gabe is like, no, I got a ride.
Yeah.
Gabe is just making up excuses because he doesn't want to give, like, he doesn't want me to give him a ride because he knows.
How terrifyingly scary.
Seriously.
Wow.
He knows
Damn.
that's the
Yo,
real
from,
reason.
From two perspectives, inside the car and outside the car.
Damn.
I'm
Okay.
seeing both sides.
and
of
she,
the drive.
okay, she's, you can't see her, but. you
How was
gotta
how
guess
was how
here.
was Roxanne? How was Lisa's drive? I'm sorry. How was Lisa's
Was
driving?
it good? Oh, she put a
It was
thumbs
on
up. So it
point,
must have been
bitch.
good. Was
So-
it better than mine?
So you. A1,
Wow.
bitch.
She would have gave me an
Yeah.
AB.
It's because it's Women's Month.
No matter what the fuck that means.
I'll give it that.
AB, A2, whatever the fuck. Level down.
But no, I believe
She
this
would've gave me that.
coronavirus though, G shit, is to chemically, genetically alter us to be ready for the change in the environment.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we be aware of the change in our environment?
Well, I mean, like the global warming bullshit.
Yeah.
Global
That's what
warming.
I'm talking about.
It's
Yeah.
not bullshit. The thing is, like,
No, I'm saying it's
Ah.
not.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's not bullshit. But I mean, like, if you can't fix the,
thing is,
world,
okay.
fix the people.
Look.
Boom.
I just want to do a side note
Didn't
right
Bill
now.
Gates resign and
That's-
move to
this-
like a whole fucking private resort by
Yeah.
himself?
Son, and he's
But-
coming up with ideas.
But
So-
this is a side note. So people that say that global warming is not a real thing, right? They're like, oh, because it's not hot, we're not, burning to death. It's not about that. It's about that the fact that our atmosphere is
It's
growing
not.
thinner and thinner because of the chemicals that we're putting out there. And because of that, you have different changes in, for example, you have in the wintertime, it's freezing cold. You have, vortexes of fucking freezing cold weather where people are freezing to death in fucking Chicago. It's the coldest it's ever been. And then you have in the summer where it's like 120 degrees, and
Yeah.
that's not exaggerating. So usually in Florida's 114 degrees lately. So you just have these differences in temperature because it can't regulate its own. Imagine the Earth as a body. The Earth can't regulate that shit.
No, it does. It does regulate it.
But it can't though because of deforestation.
No,
right now, the Earth's lungs, which is the Amazon, the biggest fucking rainforest where you have the
Well,
most
yeah.
concentration of trees, is being burned down like a motherfucker.
Right.
So the lungs, it's like you're smoking fucking cigarette, like 3 cigarettes in a row. You're basically cleaning the lungs. So you don't have that regulation.
No, you do. The regulation part is that all right. From the smoking, you get the cause of effect of it is the phlegm and congestion. The phlegm and congestion in this part is hurricane category 6.
Yeah.
Like every season. Like
But that's what I'm saying,
From
yeah,
both sides, like tsunamis and hurricanes.
The Earth is trying to regulate itself.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the regulation part of the damage.
Because
you're
it
saying.
knows, yeah,
The
it
crazier
knows.
part is like we're getting more and more stronger.
And people go, oh,
damage
the end
through
but
the
it's
more
not the
damage
end
we
times.
do.
It's just the Earth trying to
Yeah.
regulate itself.
Like we're getting
But
like
right
category
now
8
it can't
hurricanes or
regulate
shit.
itself, so it's trying to do all these. Now we have more hurricanes than ever.
Yeah.
Now
But
we
that
have.
is, but I'm saying
exactly,
that is
yeah.
their regulating.
True,
That's
true,
what I'm saying.
true.
That would be the
I'll
regulatory.
be
effect
honest with y'all.
to fix the burning.
All I'm waiting
Yeah.
for.
It's like crazy storms to put out and make the earth cooler and
And
move the
also,
water
there's a
around.
lot of fracking going on. So,
Yeah.
so a lot of there's a lot of sinkholes going on. The tectonic plates are going out of whack. Like there's a lot of shit because we don't realize the impact that we have. Okay, and these people, the 1%, and I live in Naples, which is the gem. Like they're one of the richest counties in the United States, right?
Well, we can't blame.
There's a lot of billionaires there, and they're sitting there going, I've heard from them. They're like, oh, well, I'm not going to, I'll die by then. It doesn't matter. They really don't care.
No.
So
Well,
it's
'cause,
up
like-
to us to raise
And
that
that's-
awareness.
But
It
it's
really
like
is.
I feel like the approach we should take. Oh, go ahead, Connie. My bad, bro.
Oh no, but like I mean, honestly, that's the whole point of it. Is like, yeah, I mean, everybody that's old now is
Yeah.
the one getting the virus, and obviously they don't give a fuck. So, I mean, they don't have to worry about it.
They
Right.
do say that the younger children can carry the virus. You actually mentioned
Yeah, I
that,
said
which is true, and I read that the younger people can carry the virus,
And not get sick from
but
it.
exactly because they have a stronger immune system. Once you
Mhm.
once you hit a certain age, your immune system is not the same.
Right.
So it's not, it's just like I'm not gonna say it's like the flu. It's different from the flu. It's a little bit stronger than the flu, but it's still flu-like symptoms. It does affect the respiratory system, so we do have to watch out for
But
that.
that's it. That's so far
Yeah,
the only
exactly.
the only symptoms would be like coughing, like phlegm and congestion in the lungs, runny nose. But that's it though. You don't get like a fever. You don't get nausea, ache, and pains. You don't get
Yeah,
the
that's
other
true.
stuff to like. Because I saw there was like a graph going around, so you know the
Yeah.
difference of
Yeah.
if you have corona, if you have the flu, or you have allergies.
Yeah.
What are symptoms you would have?
Which is so fucking helpful for me because I have allergies. So it's very fucking
You know
tough
what
to
I'm
tell.
saying?
If I wake up fucking sneezing one morning, how the fuck do I know I don't have corona?
I
You
got
tell me.
cats. My grandma got cats.
I'm fucking saying, I got hair all over the fucking place. You look at this fucking
It'll be
man, I
alright.
look like goddamn fucking the Spanish
You know what I'm
Jesus.
saying?
God damn it.
They be all up in the kitchen, walking through the kitchen, track up the hair they leave on the floor. So when you track it back into your room,
I'm saying.
you already got cat hair in you.
Yep, there you go. And now you got
don't know
coronavirus
about
because of
that.
cat hair.
I don't know all that. Nah,
So
he just took it. Grandma, the cats got corona.
So, since we're in the science fiction topic, what did we want to talk about last time that we didn't get to talk about? It was energies, right?
I don't know. I have a really good question, and you already heard this question, but I have a
Yeah,
really
we
good.
could know. Yeah.
All right, so mainly it's a question for you because you already heard it, and for Icy too. So
What's up?
basically,
Smooth ass voice.
you could picture. You could picture anything in your head, right? So let's say I told you to picture a slice of pizza or a cupcake. You could picture that in your head, right? You could see it.
Facts.
Where the fuck is the image? Right? Where is that picture actually at? Where is it projected? It's not above your fucking head as a hologram, is it?
No.
No. So where is the actual image? So there's a theory that states that the actual image is in the fourth dimension.
Okay, so here's okay. So think of your brain as a giant USB. It's a giant hard drive. Your
Yeah.
brain is a hard drive, okay? Your neurons are the connection. So you have neurons that connect to each other. The more drugs you do, the more toxic shit you do, the weaker the connection is to your neurons. So the healthier you are, you have stronger connection to your neurons, right?
Yeah.
It truly, your brain is a giant USB.
Yeah.
So these images are truly in your brain. Everything you're saying
Yeah,
is
but
in
where
your brain.
though?
So yeah, but all right. So
Like even if it's a USB of the brain, downloading it from how?
Okay,
Right,
so
so
okay, what do you mean? So like he's saying cupcakes. You've seen a cupcake.
Because he's
you can't-
asking,
Yeah,
he's asked
so-
how do
so
you
look,
prove
so-
it's in your head, but
yeah,
you
so
can't
look.
connect the brain up to be like, oh, there's an image of an apple.
yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
so look. Let's just take it a
Okay.
step further, and I'm gonna ask my question,
Yeah.
and
I'm gonna, okay.
let me know what you think, because this is honestly a question that I got asked back when I was a senior in high school, and I was a little bit dumbfounded by how extreme it was as a spiritual question. So you could picture that slice of pizza or cupcake or whatever in your head. They say it's in the fourth dimension when you actually picture it. Now, there's a theory that states that once you picture something in your head, you actually have created that physical image in the fourth dimension. So when you picture that slice of pizza, you just created a slice of pizza in the fourth dimension. So according to this theory, let's say, for the sake of this argument, that
Okay.
there wasn't a God. By the thought of our collective, have we as a collective consciousness, because so many people believe in a God, have we actually created a God in the
No.
fourth dimension?
Yeah, I can believe that.
No,
Yeah, I can believe that.
no.
I'm just saying.
That's actually more plausible than us believing that there was a creator.
And that's also intact with the law of attraction, because if you think about it, whatever you put your energy and focus on manifests itself.
Yeah.
So if the theory is correct, which it is a theory, it's all up into, interpretation. If you do, think of a slice of pizza and you have created it in the fourth dimension, what if you had your own image of God and you just so happen, because you believe in that particular religion, have
millions
of people believe in that same thing.
The entity itself now becomes an actual
because
thing.
of all that energy being poured towards it.
That is a possibility. I would say that's plausible. Because like you can't discredit the fact that like the reason why, like if you're gonna doubt it, right? You can't discredit the fact that like right now you're downloading the information of what I'm saying via audio vibrations in the air.
Yeah.
Right. And then it just converts into like a way of data stream in your brain. But no one to this day can prove the data streams in your brain until you put it out onto paper.
And plus, they say that we were created in God's image.
Right.
So what if consciousness is God's image and we have fucking manifested ourselves into a physical fucking form and we actually created ourselves?
But I mean, no.
We're doing that right now.
No, I don't think that's the case, though. But I believe you're
TV
right about the
nerds.
generating, like you can make the entity by all coming together having the same idea, right?
Yeah.
Because like the power of a brain is pretty crazy if we all come together.
Right.
Crazy shit. People can like hold their breath for like 8 minutes.
That's why I want you to watch that video.
Yeah, that's some wild shit. It is possible, but you can't prove that I'm conscious or sentient enough to be into the same fourth dimension. That's where the gray area of is God real. Because you can't prove that I'm sentient.
Your brain works on electrical impulses, right?
Right.
Once again, just like a hard drive.
Chemical electrical impulses.
Yes, you're right. It's a biological. It's almost like an android. Think of it like if you're
shitty Android, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Not an Android. I'm talking about an actual Android, not the Android phones. An actual Android.
I do have
Like
an Android phone, by the way, and it's sexy.
Not an Android phone. So think about it this way. Think about it this way: that the future is
not powered by Google.
Is biology mixed with technology.
Right.
So then you have that. That's basically our brain. It is.
No, it's not yet.
Yo, we gonna be connected to them motherfuckers soon, though.
Can I just say this though? Our brain truly is working on electrical impulses, which is what connects our neurons, right? So our brain is the USB. It's not that we're in a fourth. It's just our brain is a computer right now.
Right, but then,
as soon as they figure out how to connect.
How can we not fix people who have the Parkinson's disease?
It's coming soon.
That's where biology comes in. That's what I'm saying. Our brain is almost like an android. We have chemical. For example, if you think positively, you release. Yeah. There's serotonin. There's different kinds of chemicals that you release depending on your mood. So that if you think positively, yes, you can release those positive chemicals on layman's terms. So, yes, you're fixing your brain in a way. You're.
But it's not. But the thing is, though, like, I don't know. I get your point though, but it's not consistent enough with a machine. Like if to say that the brain is a machine, it's not consistent enough. Because if you have one person in a coma for 2 years, 3 more people in a coma for 2 years, but only one come out fine, the other 2 stay. What was the common fact? Because we're assuming that every brain's the same biological computer.
Exactly, but that's the thing. It all comes down to also genetics. Now you're saying that everybody's different. So then genetics also plays a part in it. Chemical imbalances play a part in it. So that's why I'm saying us as humans, we're all kind of like, think about it as like an android. So your biological, everything biological has its factor, and then everything chemically and everything chemically is also biological, but everything like electrical as well, like your neurons and everything also have to have a play in it. So you have that, different balance. You have people that have addiction in their family. That's all a chemical. That's all genetic. Yeah. It's all coding.
No. Well, that's when it comes to nature versus nurture.
But think yes, and it's 50. It's all half and half. But think about it. Think about a computer that has coding, right? If you actually look into coding and how it works, right, and from the start of coding to now what it is coding, right? All the 01s. Yeah. It all evolved so that our DNA is basically coding. It's that zero.
It's not the same though. We evolved coding though. Like we didn't evolve our genetic coding though. So like if we evolve our coding, because have we found mapped the entire genetic human DNA code yet? Have we mapped that out yet? I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's fully out. I don't think it's fully done yet.
It
We're-
depends
yeah, we're-
I
what
don't think
kind
it's
of
mapping.
what kind of map you're talking about.
Like the
Are you
point
talking
where-
about
to
a
the point where
spiritual
we
map? Or are you
can-
talking about a scientific map?
Scientifically
No, no,
mapping
no,
where you
no,
can
we're-
We
change
know
genetics.
We're
we
talking
know
about-
what's inside a human. We know how to create a human.
No, we're talking
we know
about
all
we're
that
talking about
shit.
genealogy, or sorry, we're
The
talking
genealogy
about,
part, right?
genealogy. We're talking about a full DNA
So
mapping.
now we've mapped
So-
the genetic part out though. I'm just trying to
Full
get
Metal
a sense
Alchemist.
of-
We could create a
we're
human
talking about.
with $10 worth of products.
Yeah, but now the only issue is
Oh my
we haven't cracked the code of the human brain yet. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Like I believe
No,
you're
yeah, of
right. that
course,
it's-
you're
right,
It's
you're
a,
right.
It's a
It's-
computer, but like we're hacking into the human body.
I think,
no one created
did
humans
anybody
originally
follow
for us
the
to.
did anybody follow the body that got transferred supposedly into a new
The new head that got put onto a new
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
I have
anybody
not.
So
Doulahan.
Oh,
Do rah rah rah.
The dude
they're
didn't
already
make it. but
they're
he-
already
Oh, he didn't
coming-
make it.
But he lasted for a
Oh,
while.
because he would have been the
he
headless
lasted
fucking
for a
horseman.
while.
This
If
is
he-
do rah rah rah
No, it
in
was
real
lit.
life.
No, he lit though. He lasted for a minute.
If you guys watch Chappie, the movie, right?
Yeah, that was fire. As a movie.
Right?
that was a
So-
fire movie.
Scientists are trying to get to that point, basically, where once again, also Altered Carbon is another good show to watch. You realize that it's true. The brain is a USB.
Yeah, but
And
like,
it really is. And if you can,
But
the
I'm
thing
not
is,
discrediting
the
that,
sad
though.
part is that the brain dies after I think about 3 minutes of lack of oxygen. Yeah.
supposedly,
So that's what is limiting us
maybe.
to knowing more. But if we can figure out a way where we can keep the oxygen in the brain, preserving the brain, while we transfer it, then we can know more.
Yeah, but like,
And that's
but I agree with you saying that the brain is a human, like is a USB and a
it's
computer.
USB. It's a fucking hard drive.
But the
It
thing is, like, it's a computer that no human made. You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So for that simple fact that we have to hack into it for us to get, no one's hacked the brain. That's the issue.
But that's the whole that's the
No,
whole
that's the
fucking
mystery.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the mystery to
It's
the human
also a
body
thing
is
with,
that
like,
no one can hack the brain.
If you look
yet.
at other animal brains, right, before, not now, but before, it was a thing where they thought that the bigger the brain, the smarter you are.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at orcas, right? They have
Nope.
But wait, they have bigger brains, and then they realize that it's not about the size of the brain. It kind of is, and it kind of isn't, right? It just depends. For example, you have dolphins and you have killer whales, which are all part of the mammal species. Yeah,
Orcas?
they're
Are they orcas family or something?
they're part of the orca family. Exactly.
Is that what I'm saying? Is that
And
oh,
porpoise, yeah.
You know?
So,
Are these,
so that family basically, if you look at them, they're a very intelligent species.
yeah.
Like dolphins are assholes. They rape other dolphins. They have orgies and they play with their food.
They get high too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They suck on pufferfish.
yeah.
Dogs can get
They're
drunk,
basically
and I did not know that.
humans.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they,
yeah.
yeah.
You can get your dog drunk with you if you fucking want to, and it only causes as much damage to you as it does to the dog.
Wow, bro.
So you can
No,
get
you
yourself as drunk as you fucking want to.
There's catnip
dog.
wine for cats. But
Yeah, that's true.
But it's all once again, it's all biology and it's all chemistry. Our brain is a mixture of chemistry and then at the same time hardwiring. So you have to like we're androids. I keep saying we are androids because
I'm
it's
an
all
AI.
about it's all about chemical imbalances. It's all about biology and it's also all about electrical impulses
Yeah.
in the brain.
I'm
So
gonna tell you right
we're
now, if it
androids.
really is
you-
all
you're-
about
you're-
that,
you're
why
totally
the
right,
fuck
but,
couldn't they make me a cyborg?
No, because I think the issue is here. Is
I
that,
want
like,
some metal body parts,
Nah, me
bro.
too, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I'm gonna get me
I
jack
cannot wait.
arms.
I can't wait till the day we have iRobot in real life because I want this arm to be
I've
full
been
metal.
said that. I've been
They're already
said
doing that though. They're already doing that. They actually
I want
have
a
people.
gun in the wrist,
They
Full
have
Metal
that shit.
Alchemist.
an
They
elbow,
Arm
have
wrestle
that
me,
shit
bro.
already.
You done.
with a grinder.
There's
and
a
an elbow.
society of people, bro, where they actually implant a system in your body that can basically, it shows you all your bodily functions. It talks to people. It's like a cell phone in your body.
that's what I need.
There's people implanting chips already to this day.
Yeah, this one dude has
So
one
it's
for
not
a
a
prosthetic arm,
far-fetched
and
idea.
he just thinks like he would his normal arm now, and it actually moves. It's not like crazy. He can't just be
Yeah.
like breaking
Son.
walls.
No, that's what I
but-
need.
I would
He
literally
can't
chop
do
my
moves,
arm
huh?
off to get the trigun.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm saying.
Get that insurance.
exactly
Get
what I'm
that
saying.
insurance.
Boom! Ain't ready for it. They ain't ready.
You ever watch Spot Run, where the dude gets his fucking balls ate up by a fucking dog, a police
Yeah,
dog,
yeah.
and then he has to get metal fucking balls, and
And
every
he's
time he
click.
walks around, it sounds like a fucking.
That thing in the office that
Yeah.
clicks. The little
So-
metal ball thing.
Yeah. So you know what
I
I'm
see.
saying? I'm
By
just
the
saying, I would
way-
love to have fucking metal balls. I'll smack
By the
somebody in
way-
the face with my
I
fucking
wouldn't-
balls.
I
That
wouldn't-
shit would hurt so fucking bad. I'll be
By
one
the
punch
way,
man with my
that's based
balls.
off of Newton's law, by the way.
I don't think that's how that would work.
I feel like with
That
enough
little
pressure, I would
devices.
definitely smack somebody into the next century with my ball sack.
I
If they were
underst-
metal, if they were made out of
I
metal,
understand that. All right, yeah.
you know. Just think
Newton's
about
law,
it.
by
You're
the way.
full force,
I don't know. I just pictured like
swinging the ball
every-
sack from all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Just think about
Yeah.
smacking somebody's face.
I believe. Yeah, I feel that.
You knock somebody the fuck out.
Nah, I don't think.
Science fiction. No.
What if you had it? Here it is. What if you had it like a magnet? Right.
But shout out to our guest.
Dead.
Oh gosh.
I'm dead.
Tell us, our guest over here. She's our guest listener. What's up? Tell us your
Disappear.
socials.
My socials.
Yes, your
Uh-oh.
socials.
Ooh.
That's
4 digits, 8 digits.
the whole
Nah,
number.
it's okay.
The whole number.
Only I get the socials because I'm trying to cash out on the tax.
I feel that. I feel that.
Because he ain't getting much back.
It's okay. She's lying.
Oh,
She's lying.
she just
She's
dissed
lying.
you like that.
She's
man.
lying.
From the
She's a
squad.
liar. It's something we're trying to deal with. She's a chronological
Oh, I
liar.
feel that. There's gonna be another discussion at home tonight.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, him in bed.
Oh man.
wow. Wow.
So, okay, what do you guys think about astrology?
Oh.
I believe it's a real science.
Yo, hold
It's a
on.
I
theory.
believe it's
a,
hocus
it's
pocus.
a theory that needs to be. I believe it's a theory that needs to be looked into more.
I think that everybody portrays characteristics of every zodiac sign, so I don't think it's an accurate judgment of a person.
Here's the thing, though. Let me tell you, as somebody who's read
Wait,
books,
astrology is not
finds
the
it-
shit just studying about stars?
Oh, I thought we were talking about
Isn't that-
stars
Isn't that
coordinating
astrology?
to
No,
the
no,
zodiac
that's
signs.
there's astronomy and there's astrology. Let's not get it confused.
Oh, I mixed them up.
Okay.
I mixed them up. Which
As-
one's the study of stars?
Astronomy.
What did you
Astronomy.
say?
Astrology.
Astrology.
Yeah, I'm
The
like.
theory
So
is
that
science
goes-
fiction. We're talking about science fiction here.
So astrology
with
has
that
to do with
How
zodiac
little you-
signs.
Here's
right?
the thing, though.
Shut up, bro.
You have, for example, you're a Leo, right? You can
Yes,
be a
I'm
Leo.
very passionate and very arrogant.
Well, you can be a Leo. Yes, but
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
you can be a
Only
Leo.
a little bit.
But the
On
thing
the
is, if you read
nose.
your chart, depending on where exactly you were born on the earth, where exactly everything was placed, then you have to read your natal chart. You can be Leo, but
Yeah.
you can have most of your planets in Virgo, in Aquarius, and that's why you're like, well, I don't resign. I don't really see how I get along with
Yeah.
the Leos. But that's because you have your, So it just all depends. Now, this is my theory on it, right? The moon. The moon actually has an effect on us.
The
Oh, yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
the stars.
Whenever there's a full moon, there's always more cops out than
I
usual.
see in the back.
They know you're gonna fuck up. The cops already know you're gonna fuck up when there's
They
a full
do
moon.
exactly. And truly,
It's a given.
There's a chart that shows the activity of people and the amount of arrests and everything, and they do skyrocket when there is a full moon versus on any other regular night.
Is that true, or is that just be like, oh,
No,
full moon cops be like?
No, it
that's
is true.
That's
No, I'm saying, are they purposely be
No,
like,
it's-
oh, full moon
it's
going?
scientifically proven.
It's
yeah, it is.
yes, it's
That's why there's more
yes.
cops out on full moons than.
It deals
On
with
study,
the same reason
it
why
is.
there's high tide, low tide.
Yeah.
Because of the moon.
It's
What's the full
because
moon at?
okay, so
Have you ever watched
Racking
that
them
Disney
tickets up.
Channel
So-
fucking
so
show where
look-
there's the mermaids and
Yeah.
they only turn into
Yeah.
mermaids when there's a fucking full moon?
That was a lit show.
It was pretty
That
lit,
was
right?
lit.
I can't remember the name.
What is it?
Yes.
H2O.
Yes! What is it
Boom.
called?
That was
H2O.
fire.
Oh, H2O. Okay, there it is.
I didn't voluntarily watch it,
But
but
it's true.
sitting through it,
neither.
you're just
Me
like,
neither.
In
I
our
fuck with
solar
it.
system,
My
the
My
bigger
little cousin
the
was
planet,
watching it. It was
Yeah.
great.
the bigger the
Great.
planet, the bigger the gravitational pull. Okay, the
yeah.
more that your atmosphere is, the heavier your atmosphere is. Which means like the bigger the planet. For example, in Pluto, these not Pluto. I'm trying to think. Uranus? No, not Uranus.
What's
Saturn. Okay, so Saturn, for example, a bigger planet, their gravitational pull is going to be higher because it's a bigger body. So you're going to have more of that, like right
No,
here,
it's
you're
the
walking Gucci, but you go to Saturn, bitch, you gonna be laying on the ground like I can't even get
right.
up.
You're right,
It's the
but
truth.
you're right, but it's the opposite dimensions. Like you're right about the size of the object being in orbit around them, but it's like the size of our moon compared to Earth is the reason why we have the thing. So like if Saturn's moon was a lot bigger than Saturn, then their storms would be fucking wild.
The thing is, have you seen the storms on some of these planets? Like they have. That's the thing is like, okay, so we think about one giant body that's pretty close to Earth. Their gravitational pull against our gravitational pull is going to cause an effect. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like you're looking back at Newton's law, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, so that's how you see, you know, the moon affecting us. So why can't other bodies around us affect us in a certain way? Yeah. That's a theory. Once again, it's a theory. But it's a fun theory to look into astrology.
If it does, it'd be in the same context of what he was saying about the shared dream.
Yeah.
They're the shared image of God.
Yeah.
It would be like our brain giving off like a Wi-Fi signal. Because if you're saying if our brain's a PC, why won't it have its own Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Or Bluetooth?
And you know what?
So
that's why people with telekinesis. That's another theory I want to get into. Telekinesis.
No.
They say that we're only like usually the human brain is a certain percentage, but people with higher intelligence or higher IQ, right? They're weirder, but they have they use more at a time. 8 to 10% at a time. It's not that. Well, it's not that you can't use. It's not that you're using 8%. That's it. It's that it's 8% at a time. It's different. You know, your different brain.
So what is it called when you group telekinesis though into ESP? Like
I think
called?
so.
You know what I'm saying though? Like collective of
that's
brain
what
power.
I was gonna bring up. So how would you feel about the fact that, and this is actually a video that I just sent to you, so hopefully you watch it.
I don't have a phone, but
no, it's fine. You have a laptop. I sent it to you on Facebook. I sent it on Facebook. You have access. Okay. But anyway, so this is actually they touch bases on this, but it's so how would you feel about a collective? Imagine like a group of monks, you know, like let's say 20 to 50 of them sitting in the same position, projecting their thoughts on the same thing and being able to create a whole pyramid.
Once again, our brain works on electrical impulses. So if your electrical impulses, your energy, your wavelength is working on the same energy wavelength as somebody else, it's going to connect and it's going to create almost like a tower, like a cell phone tower. Yep. Think of it that way. That's a theory once again. But if our brains are working, they actually did a study on plants. If you're thinking, plants actually have feelings, okay? Guys, if you talk to a plant positively, it's higher wavelengths, okay, which is positive. Lower frequency is negative. So you're basically going to talk on negativity, then you're going to attract that type of wavelength, almost like a cell phone tower. That's a theory once again. But if everybody, you're right, like monks are all thinking the same wavelength and they're all trying to be positive, you're going to create almost like a cell phone tower. You're going to create like a very strong wavelength of high frequency.
I agree with you, but I think it's proportional though, because your analogy is correct. It's an outside influence that's going to have to that's powering against.
And think about it. Yeah. What is the one thing that we don't have nowadays other than technology?
No, I'm saying because we may need more than 50 or 60 monks. We may need like a million monks to get this coronavirus away. I agree with you. Just a lot more.
Bro, look at it this way.
Thinking small.
Look at it this way. All the technology that we have nowadays, we are still unable to recreate the way the pyramids were made. There is a theory, and this is based off that video that I shared to you, that there were monks, you know, that through their collective consciousness were able to put all their energy into moving one block at a time and creating these pyramids that so happen to coexist with the fucking alignment of the stars in the sky.
Once again,
but I'm not saying
happen to just coincidentally coexist with them.
I'm not saying it didn't disappear, but realize that the environment now changes the fact that we can do this. And not saying like people is affecting us, but the fact that like pollution could be a huge factor in inhibiting us from being able to do the power. So maybe it once back in that day and era, 50
again,
fucking months can do it.
Biology has to do with it. The government, remember, like everything that we eat has an effect on us. There's a lot of hormones in our food. There's a lot of bullshit in our food, and that affects our biology. So if we can't have our biology on point, then we can't get our consciousness higher. So basically, these people that have, they can use 8 to 10% of their brain, like at a time. These people have a higher consciousness. These people can probably move shit. They can see whatever we call spirits or dead. It's all basically okay. I believe that whatever you call a spirit might be, is a theory, it might be basically our consciousness. Remember our USB? We have, this whole hard drive, and when we die, if we're strong enough, we can actually project it into another dimension, because there are other dimensions. And that's what a spirit is. And then these people that are gifted are really people that are in a higher plane. They can see through other dimensions, and they can almost read that. So that's a theory.
I believe that. Yeah. I mean, that's why I believe in ghosts. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, ghosts are basically just consciousness.
Yeah. That's
almost like Naruto. I'm gonna fucking say Naruto. I love this shit.
That's fine.
But Naruto, like when his dad came to him and his mom came to him, it's not that they're alive. It's that it's just their consciousness, almost like projected into another dimension, another realm.
Or agreeing with you, what if Naruto's dad knew the secret or the code, the actual 1010 code, to put his part of the soul onto Naruto's seal with the 9 tails?
Soul is consciousness.
So when
conscious. That's what he said. But he even admitted
and that way he was part of the sequence.
But he admitted it. He goes, I'm a consciousness.
Yeah, but I'm saying
like
as soon
as the program
started, when Naruto tripped the switch, the program activated and got stopped, and I was like, oh shit, nigga ran the stop program on a nigga. Naruto, the Flash Hokage, he's a straight up hacker on a nigga. He hacked the body.
The yellow Flash,
and the mom too. The mom hacked the body too. He was like, nah, I got you. I'm gonna put you for later, and he got a double hacking firewall for Naruto's belly.
Yep.
That's Norton 3.
The soul
he
is
basically did. If you
conscious.
think about it, that was a firewall.
Serious?
That was like the virus was getting in. He's like, nope, firewall, blah, blah, blah. What's
he
up?
had
Nope.
a seal antivirus built into Naruto.
It's crazy how much I actually remember from one binge watch of Naruto. Because I have not watched Naruto since that one binge watch. I'm going to tell you straight up, I have never been a big fan of Naruto, but there was one.
Naruto was a shit, man.
Bro,
That's
there was one year, and I'm pretty sure it was my sophomore or junior year in high school, but I called in sick from school. Not really, I just skipped school. But anyway, so I stayed home, and so I was watching TV, and out of nowhere, I'm going through the channels, and I come across Naruto, and it's like, I'm used to watching Bleach and Inuyasha at this time, and Dragon Ball Z, and all that shit is coming out at night on fucking Adult Swim or Toonami.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking
Naruto
watching
came
Inuyasha.
in the fucking I remember at least in the morning. Like, I would watch that shit. I'm like,
and
damn,
then,
that shit came in the morning.
And then
like,
I fucking, out of nowhere, I wake up. It's like 11 o'clock, and they're shooting the first fucking episode of Naruto on Cartoon Network. And they're fucking playing a marathon. It was like a whole day marathon, and they started at episode 1 and went through all fucking day.
Just say,
and I literally watched that shit all day.
The best ending of Naruto, and I've heard all the endings and openings. The best ending of Naruto was Naruto Shonen Jump, the first.
Yeah.
Fucking ending.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you right now.
That was the best one, and I wish it would have ended Naruto series with that. At least the last episode, that would have been.
I've actually watched Dragon Ball Z multiple fucking times, and Dragon Ball, and I'm gonna just say Dragon Ball is way better than Dragon Ball Z because I love seeing Goku as a little kid, except in GT. But anyway, when I watched Naruto. And it was only the one time that I fucking watched it, mind you.
But have you watched the whole thing?
Well, I've watched up until a certain point.
Oh no!
Because it was just the one time, and it was just.
You can't say shit.
But I will say this:
exactly.
I enjoyed it a lot more. Just that one saga that I fucking watched, I enjoyed it a lot more than Dragon Ball Z.
Nigga, there's like 10 of them dope ass sagas,
you
bro.
have to. But what
I'm just
saga did you
saying.
watch? Wait, hold on. What saga?
It was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
So it was
Oh,
like.
so you didn't watch Shippuden?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, we'll discuss this after the cameras now, Connie.
But-
Now
You
we
didn't
know
even
this.
watch
We'll discuss this.
Shippuden.
But-
The Shippuden was the okay, and then the pain
And
arc.
I've watched so much anime
Alright.
that I can't. If I wanted to, if I went back to Naruto and I watched it now, it would just be purely because of the nostalgia and because I want to just rewatch it. But other than that, like the story, But
You only watched
it
Shonen
is
Jump.
way better than Dragon Ball Z as a series.
Yeah.
It
I will
is.
say this.
It is.
Just the one fucking saga that I saw
is.
was way better than the first fucking whole shit of Dragon
It
Ball
is.
Z.
I've watched. I was a fan of Dragon Ball Z, and I thought, oh, my favorite.
The
until
story,
until I
immaculate.
got into Naruto, and I was like,
I'd
nah,
rather watch a
Naruto's-
ninja dude fucking come up than a fucking alien guy. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it fucking is.
Bro,
I don't care about watching Superman. I already
Honestly,
know you're strong.
I think-
I don't give
Okay.
a fuck.
I think
If
because
you-
I'm black, I fucked with Naruto because it was just a bunch of niggas gang banging.
That's what I'm saying. That
Like, yo, what's
That
your
too.
set, cuz? We did he's middle like Miss Blood, nigga. Rep your set.
Where you
Like,
from,
Eating
for
leaf,
real?
nigga.
Instead
What's
of
up?
bandanas, they had the fucking
You know what I'm saying?
bands.
Yeah.
Were
Run
you
your-
from Kona, huh?
run
I'm
them
from
hands,
fucking
bro.
Hidden Sand Village, motherfucker.
And mind
you
you,
got Gara.
I was-
We
I
represent
was-
Thunder up in here, bitch.
Bro, mind you, I was like 7
So-
years old having to look up new Dragon Ball Z episodes on fucking Japanese
Yeah.
websites and shit on AOL.
I remember those days.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
like,
remember those days.
They've
I used to have to
improved.
watch sub.
Yeah.
And niggas wonder why I watch sub nowadays. This nigga, I grew up watching sub. You think I really want to watch sub
Bruh.
now?
I just
Fuck
Bruh.
no.
I watch
Hell
subs.
no.
I like
gotta get your
subs.
You wanna
shotting
be-
gun up, nigga.
But
Get
let
your
me tell
shotting
you.
gun up.
But I'm just
Bruh.
saying, like that first saga of fucking
Naruto
Naruto.
just finished like they're fucking they just finished dubbing it like a minute ago because
All the
like,
way up to the final after all of them.
Yeah.
Naruto got married and everything.
yeah. I wish they ended it way too. I wish they would have like instead of Boruto Next Generations, they should have been like Naruto Next Gen. But the writer didn't want to keep writing, so I get it. It's a whole new writer for Boruto, whatever.
I feel like it's
But-
right.
Nah,
Fits.
it's bullshit,
because-
bro. The Boruto is whack, son. I'll
Really?
be honest with you.
It's
I
whack?
can't even get into it.
The
It be
mangas,
so
the mangas
weird.
actually. Listen, I forced myself to watch it. It's actually not that bad after a while. The manga's way better because I actually read like once
after a
in a
while.
while. I, read
I
the
feel like
mangas,
people just
and then
aren't
the
used to
mangas are-
watching Naruto as an adult.
Nah, we are. Is what they did. What he did is he
It's what they
disrespect
did.
his dad. Like
Shino, yes.
85% of the movie, like 85% of the series,
But
first season
after
one was him
Momoshiki,
dissing his dad.
after he
I
fights
grew up with
Momoshiki,
Naruto, ready
Right.
to square up with Naruto
Yeah.
on anybody.
Right.
He gonna throw hands.
It's
Just
true.
like
And you
Hunter
gonna
Hunter.
diss his dad? Like nigga, you don't know what he went through. I've been through all them
Bruh.
episodes, nigga. Don't you
Yep,
disrespect
yep.
Naruto like that? He lost
Yo,
He
what
lost.
they did to fucking Shino
Don't get
pissed me the
started.
fuck off. Shino
Yeah.
should have been. It's like what they did to fucking Goku's son, bro. They fucked him up. Like
Got my blood pressure up.
Shino was a fucking badass.
Fuck
Like
Boruto.
Shino's like, what, dude? Now Shino's like, oh guys,
But-
I'm like, the fuck did you?
But nah, we gotta.
Okay, we gotta. Sorry,
Yeah.
we're gonna
'Cause
keep
we have a few, like 3 minutes left now.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we gotta hit him with the news. So like, we're probably gonna have to cancel the TV Nerds
Yes.
Expo due to
Yep.
everything of the coronas.
We're gonna postpone, not cancel, but we're gonna postpone it. We're gonna let you guys know on a further date.
Yeah.
On that because the whole coronavirus that we
Rona
talked
hitting
about,
hard.
creating a pandemic.
Rona hitting that.
Yeah.
It's getting
Just
hard.
But
fuck Rona.
that new Call of Duty just dropped, so y'all got some entertainment for
Oh,
yourself.
That's true.
I'm about to hop on that. Though. I'm about to get some
That's
smoke.
true.
Cross-platform. Y'all got the Xbox, right?
I got the Xbox.
It's cross-platform.
Yeah.
You ready to get your ass
Get
worked
your
on the
ass
PC?
hand-
You get your ass handed, nigga. I got PC. Watch me now.
I got a PS4 and I'm still
know what
gonna
I
cop
can do
that
on
at
the
Yeah,
stick.
Sonic
watch
Adventure
it,
and
watch
Sonic
it.
Adventure 2.
I'm on a
That's all I'm gonna play.
WSD,
Stay.
nigga. WSD. He
Stay.
don't want it. He don't want it.
I'm just gonna play Sonic.
But-
I'm not gonna play all that Call of Duty shit. I
We're,
can't.
yeah, we're postponing. Yeah, we're postponing
Yeah.
it. Everyone be safe.
Damn, falling
Clean
into
your
your
mouth.
Sorry about that.
stereotype.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Wash your
Keep your
hands.
fucking
One
face
time.
clean.
Clean
Stop
your
touching
nose.
your fucking face.
Yeah,
All
do
right?
the
Stop
birthday
touching your
song
face.
2 times.
Yeah.
Once this is over, we're gonna let you guys know on a further date for
We-
the TV Nerds Expo. But
we
for now,
running
we
it.
have to
Fact.
Yeah.
because we know half of y'all ain't gonna show up.
Yeah. I ain't gonna show up. Fuck you.
Damn, I had my
Are you fucking
bitch,
kidding
I
me?
had my
out here
cosplay
dying.
costume. Yo, I had
Yeah,
my
no.
cosplay costume.
I have. Yeah.
I have it right there at the house, and I'm like, I can't fucking do it. Sorry.
Think about the way that sounds. Cosplay
You know,
costume. You know that shit
I
came from
was-
fucking China. I ain't.
I was
Probably
gonna
about
run it
five.
I
as
put
coach
shit on.
from Left 4 Dead too. Run it as coach, the black dude.
Oh, damn.
I would have done it just because of the whole coronavirus.
Damn.
And just
That's
keep with the
fire.
theme.
That's
Imagine
fire.
do like a biohazard theme. Niggas showing up Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Some,
That'd be
some,
fire.
some Iron Legend.
I might dress up as some Resident Evil shit. You know, I might dress up as the fucking monster just so I can scare the shit out of people. I'll be like, oh, I got coronavirus.
What's up?
Oh!
I gotta
Dead.
do is just cough in public. And
There
be
you
alone.
go. Just run around, cough,
So-
and spray some fucking disinfectant on people, and they'll think it's fucking.
I'm
Just
Lysol
sneeze.
man. Lysol woman.
Oh my god. Well, I guess I'm Gabe Stomach here. Catch us at ex3.com.
Chris
we got the new
Konecki.
website.
EX3network.com.
Yo, ex3network.com.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
We
I'd have
official
fucked
now.
that up.
We got
We're
Gabe
official.
Stomach
Nah,
on
fuck that up.
Instagram.
What'd
We
you
got
say before?
I thought
nine-
you said the ex3 network. No, I said ex3.com.
EX3 Network.
I'll hear it in the
EX3
edit.
Oh yeah, fix it.
We
We'll
got
fix
this.
it. Let's bleep that out. Let's bleep
Let's
that out.
go.
It'll
we,
be somewhere in the link below.
We got 9 Konecki9 on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
And then we got Lisania _ on Instagram. And yeah, Lisania _M on Snapchat.
Can they find? You set this up. Can they find us at the website?
Yes, they can.
So just go. Well,
You
we
better
fancy now.
find
But
us at
check
the
out our
website. I
check
swear
out
to
YouTube.
God.
Check out YouTube, and then we
EX3
have
Network.
EX3
so
.com.
far we have May 2nd the event at Tom's Cool Comics and Games.
I don't know if we're gonna do that either.
We're gonna see. We'll let you guys
Yeah, we're
know
gonna
about
have
that.
to-
Rona
So
out here,
far-
girl. What
Yeah,
are you
Rona-
talking about? We
I
busy
ain't- you know what I'm
dying.
saying? I ain't going out there to catch Rona. She gonna see
Yeah,
me and
we
give
gonna
me the
see.
ick.
We gonna see, but we'll let you guys know. We'll keep you guys posted on all the events. All right, that's it. This is TV Nerds.
Science fiction ramble.
Yep.
And Ramble.
Yep.
Science fiction ramble.
Signing the fuck out.
I put that on the tab.
We put it on the tab. Science fiction ramble.
I keep coming back to you. I keep coming.
This episode of TV Nerds is brought to you by Cool Games. Damn it.
Cool Games, damn it.
I saw it. It was like, fuck.
That's a new store. Cool Games, damn it.
Yo, check out Cool Games, damn it.
My name is Isola Benjamin. Welcome to Cool Games, damn it.